We had a secondhand store because, well, okay, going back. We had a mortgage company, and it was around 2007.
Most people think they know Brandi Passante, but they only know a part of the story. On Storage Wars, she is confident and impossible to ignore. But away from the cameras, her life has been far more complicated than many fans realize, shaped by challenges that were never fully shown on screen. So, what really happened in Brandi Passante's life behind the scenes? And what parts of her story have fans misunderstood over the years? Join us as we uncover the truth behind Brandi Passante and the reality behind the television image. Brandi's saga with the most hated man on the internet. Despite being in the spotlight for a lengthy period, Brandi Passante's early life remains quite mysterious. Due to this, there are numerous unresolved rumors about her early life. These rumors remain unresolved mainly because of the type of person Brandi is. She is the type of celebrity that is hated by paparazzi and journalists because of how under wraps she keeps most of her information. No matter how severe the question or allegations were, Brandi Passante would rather keep to herself and let the media spiral with whatever story they felt like cooking. This was a good thing as it allowed for Brandi and her loved ones to maintain privacy and protect peace. The issue, however, were the risks that came with not addressing dangerous accusations properly. One of the most prominent accusations against Brandi alleged that she might have worked as a stripper in different clubs and bars around Orange County in the late 90s. These rumors not only touch the nightclub pole dancing territory, but they also go deeper into the adult movie industry. No one knows how true these claims are, and despite them reaching her, Brandi herself has never publicly addressed these speculations in order to maintain privacy. Or was it really an attempt to maintain privacy? Because a few years later, after these fingers were pointed at her, some sort of proof about her indulgence shot up to the surface. In 2010, a guy named Hunter Moore created a website called Is Anyone Up? This site was notorious for its exploitative image sharing, where users posted explicit photos and videos of their exes to embarrass them. Not only exes, but multiple other illegal videos of intimate activity were also uploaded on this platform. While everyone was posting implicating media of people they felt bitter towards, the owner, Hunter Moore, decided to target Brandi Passante by posting fake explicit media of her at a very young age. After this act, it was quite easy for the news to spread. The website had already gained quite a bit of traction, and the news of explicit material claiming to feature a young Brandi jumped from this hidden website to various other social media outlets. Before it reached her, her PR team tried their best to debunk these claims, but the media Hunter uploaded matched Brandi's childhood features too well for simple gaslighting to work. Brandi eventually found out about the videos through Twitter. This happened as she was going through her DMs. In her requests, she started noticing a pattern of creepy users either making comments about some unknown video of her or requesting new and updated explicit ones. Eventually, Brandi had a look at the website and was horrified, hurt, and ashamed to see images of someone pretending to be her in an explicit video. She said the video caused her anxiety, sleepless nights, and physical sickness out of fear that her loved ones would see it. She immediately sued Hunter Moore, and since he didn't defend himself, the internet took her side and canceled him, eventually labeling him as the most hated man they had ever seen. Eventually, in 2013, Brandi won the lawsuit against Hunter, and the case ended with a pittance in damages. Hunter was also ordered to remove all content related to Brandi from his websites, and with that, this massive character defamation case ended. After this case, Brandi might have thought she had won against toxic men in her life, but the next one was sitting right beside her for quite a long time. Fists of Love. The love dynamic between Brandi and Jared Schulz was always a highlight amongst Storage Wars fans. They were a couple who would always find middle ground, even though they were so different. They had different styles in doing almost everything. From bidding to business processes to even having fun, they remained an ice and fire couple. Even though this connection kept Storage Wars drawing large audiences, fire would always find a way to melt ice. In early 2020, Brandi and Jared Schulz publicly confirmed their separation, ending their long-term relationship. This news surprised many fans, but a fair few saw it coming. On television, these fans noticed they always seemed to be fighting over everything. On the rare occasions that they were on the same side, it was either due to emotional fatigue or one succumbing to the other's aggressive nagging. They were both crucial to a lot of decisions that had to be made in the store. But Brandi, for some reason, never realized this. Brandi would frequently appear unnecessarily cautious and skeptical of any decision Jared made. She claimed it was to ensure that he made smart choices during purchases, but her skepticism was always extra harsh. In some situations, it was good. For instance, CD. Whenever Jared's excitement got the better of him during proceedings, Brandi would immediately shove him aside and step in to prevent financial losses and minimize damage. She had an intelligent and conservative approach to business, whilst her partner preferred a more impulsive and passionate approach. She only bid on items she believed would sell well in her store, while he preferred to bid on items he loved. But Jared's impulsive purchases weren't the worst thing to happen to Storage Wars or their relationship. In fact, it was this unpredictability that made fans' love for the series increase. The way fans praised him for his entertainment, they also admired him for his smart and dynamic approach. At the same time, they also criticized her for being tough on Jared. This back and forth all ended in a highly publicized altercation at an Orange County bar in April 2020. After their divorce, they met up, and after a disagreement, Brandi asked him to leave. He allegedly yelled aggressively and put his hands on her, shoving her twice. He was later charged with misdemeanor domestic violence battery. When fans asked Brandi, she said that this was not the only instance of such behavior during their 20-year relationship and refused to say anything else. Because of this vagueness, multiple eyebrows started being raised concerning their past relationship dynamic. People started realizing that they really weren't a lovey-dovey couple after all. They started realizing that maybe the back and forth shown on television wasn't just an act of playful disturbance, and that it was actually just how they were. From here on out, they started connecting the dots on past incidents they had overlooked. These had fans realize that the first time a major shift happened in their dynamic was during the 13th season of Storage Wars. In this season alone, several things happened. The first incident involved Brandi posting a promotional photo for the show on Instagram, where she blurred out Jared's face. Originally, it was overlooked as just banter, but now they took note that she never even made an attempt to feature him on her socials again. Even when she cleared all photos of him from her profile, they just viewed it as an attempt to change content strategy. Also, in that season, the two stopped bidding as a team for the first time. They never bothered to state reasons why, and also never concerned themselves with getting back on the same team. After they switched teams, their playful conflict became even more intense, and they often traded bitter jabs across the auction floor. Brandi also famously called Jared an idiot on camera because he bid $400 on a piece. A piece that was worth it, by the way. Even in 2017, when Brandi and Jared faced a legal issue involving a woman who sued them for using her image without permission in an ad campaign for their store, they maintained a semi-united front. It remains a mystery if their relationship had already started breaking by then, or if she chose to be cordial with Jared, only because she wanted to solve the case. Brandi has since shared that she felt like she was a single mother, even while they were together, claiming she handled the vast majority of parenting for some time before 2018, when it really started falling apart. In later interviews, Brandi suggested that for much of the relationship, she struggled to maintain her own identity outside of Jared's orbit. It was clear these two weren't compatible in the slightest, and that Brandi was desperate to end the relationship. But after their divorce, do you think she was finally happy? COVID wasn't the only killer in 2020. No, the answer is no. Sickness just didn't allow this to happen properly. The COVID pandemic was tough for everyone in the entertainment industry, and even though views were expected to increase since more people were at home, the filming schedule of Storage Wars got messed up. Because of the failing enterprise, their fans moved to social media or other shows for their entertainment. Industry insiders also speculated that apart from this, Brandi's off-camera struggles with love made producers hesitant to feature her as prominently. However, they decided to give her time to heal, and in turn, she decided to try picking herself up again. Brandi tried adapting by finding new ways to connect with fans and keep her business running. She upped her game on social media, sharing updates about her journey, life, and work. Regardless of these efforts, a Storage Wars re-entry started looking like less and less of an option as the days went by, so Brandi looked for new and different opportunities to grow her brand. In 2021, she launched her own line of merchandise, which included clothes and accessories inspired by her style and experiences on the show. She also focused on health and wellness podcasts, sharing her journey with her followers as she had survived a COVID scare just months ago. Unluckily, at this high point was when things took another turn. Brandi got diagnosed with Hashimoto's disease, a condition where the immune system mistakenly attacks the thyroid gland. It can lead to inflammation and damage to the gland, causing a condition known as hyperthyroidism. This exact symptom caused her to receive numerous harsh comments when she went live on social media for promotions. After she spoke, live comments would start rushing in on how ugly and raspy her voice sounded. This would bring tears to her eyes and cause her to end the live stream. After this humbling experience, Brandi committed to giving back to her community. She took part in various charity events and supported causes aimed at helping those in need. Her philanthropic efforts included working with organizations focused on issues like homelessness, food insecurity, and domestic violence. Brandi's dedication to charity work endeared her to fans and reinforced her reputation in the industry as a now-healed, caring, and down-to-earth person. After a few back and forth and against the odds, she finally got recalled and resumed appearing on TV. This time, both on Storage Wars and other shows. Her newfound guest spots on talk shows and reality TV specials also allowed her to share her experiences and insights with a broader audience. These appearances helped keep her visible in the entertainment world and introduced her to new fans. This saga made it feel like, despite the adversaries, she was finally reborn. But this happiness meant nothing without remembering how her journey in the spotlight really played out. The reality of reality television. In 2010, Brandi Passante and Jared Schulz were invited by producers to join a new reality TV show called Storage Wars on A&E. The show followed buyers who bid on storage units hoping to find valuable items inside. The idea was simple, and Brandi and Jared's nature made them perfect for the show. Storage Wars eventually premiered on the 1st of December in 2010. Brandi and Jared quickly became fan favorites because of their contrasting personalities and chemistry on screen. But here's something the show never told its fans. Storage Wars, at its peak, reportedly paid its core cast members somewhere between $10,000 and $25,000 per episode. This was a good check on paper, but it had its flaws. Reality TV checks didn't come with health insurance, retirement plans, or paid time off. For example, when the pandemic happened, there were no compensation packages. And when Brandi would miss days, when her struggles made her somewhat unreliable, producers simply adjusted their faces to look elsewhere. Then there's the store. Remember their antique business? While Storage Wars made them famous, it also made them unnecessary targets. Customers would allegedly show up not to buy, but to gawk. They'll come in just to ask about fights, get autographs, and demand photos. While this was good for fame and publicity, it still hindered their real customers and reportedly caused a few losses here and there. Reality TV also didn't care about a performer's decline. And she knew this. This reason was probably why she fought so hard to get up after falling. Once a member of the cast becomes a liability, they are silently cut off and then replaced by someone younger and more willing to bleed on camera. Reality TV also didn't care about the age of its victims. It allowed its tragedy to be shared equally. Diffusive tragedy. Brandi's family has been deeply affected by some tragic losses and difficult medical journeys over the years. Even at work, these tragedies never stopped spreading. The Storage Wars family faced numerous heartbreaking losses over the years, including the tragic death of Rico Suave and, later, Gunter, both of which deeply affected Brandi's already depleting mental state. A second co-worker, Rico Suave, passed away at age 40 due to asphyxia by inhalation of carbon monoxide and car exhaust fumes. He was found in his car with the engine running inside his auction house's garage. His death occurred just 2 days after an arrest for drug-related offenses, and this wasn't the end of the line of heartbreaks for Brandi. A fan favorite and father figure of her and Renee, Gunter died untimely following a private 6-month battle with lung cancer. Renee shared that his father had been a smoker for 30 years and, by the time of his passing, had all kinds of issues with his lungs that doctors could no longer just remedy with maintenance. These tragedies went beyond mere death. They pursued her in other, more insidious forms. Brandi's daughter, Peyton, was born deaf. This required significant medical intervention, including a major surgery when she was just 6 years old to improve her hearing. Brandi has been open about the challenges of navigating her child's disability, which included years of specialized care and therapy to help Peyton adapt to the treatment. Her son, Cameron, also faced a life-threatening medical situation which involved a mass on his kidney. This was part of a serious urological disorder that required surgery and a painful 3-month hospital stay. In the same year in which she was diagnosed, Brandi also mourned her father's death in October 2020. She often shares a heavenly birthday tribute to him, describing him as a significant figure in her life whom she misses terribly. Then, 3 years later, in 2023, Brandi's brother Justin passed away, following a long struggle with drug addiction. In her 2026 tribute, she confirmed she had lost a brother to a tragedy similar to self-harm, highlighting a painful recurring theme in her family history. Yes, it was hard on her, as she lost many parts of herself, those she loved, and the things she cherished. But in the end, it all worked out, to an extent. Happy ever after. As she finally got over Jared, Brandi revealed a new tattoo of the word "free" on her finger on Instagram. While she didn't directly mention Jared as a reason in her caption, it was clear that the tattoo symbolized her freedom from their abusive relationship. After this split, Brandi started dating Clifford Beaver. Unlike her relationship with Jared, Her romance with Clifford was kept as private as possible. Fans only noticed they were dating thanks to a May 2023 Instagram post by Clifford wishing her a happy birthday. Clifford runs a bar and restaurant in Lake Forest, Orange County, called Our Place. Since Storage Wars hasn't been renewed for a 16th season yet, it's unclear whether Brandi will return if the show continues. In the meantime, she is staying busy. Brandi has appeared in several posts on her new partner's business, Our Place's Instagram page, suggesting she's involved in her boyfriend's bar. She also continues to raise her and Jared's 2 children, who are both now in their teens. Brandi is also one of the hosts of the podcast called Happening Now with Hammer. Brandi's journey over the past few years has been marked by change and growth. The separation from Jared Schulz allowed her to focus on her personal well-being and that of her children. Jared Schulz, on the other hand, has transitioned away from reality television and is primarily focused on the hospitality industry and personal life. He is the owner of the Rush Bar and Grill located in Lake Forest, California. He is often present at the bar, hosting karaoke nights and community events. Jared continues to operate his clothing brand, Outlaw Apparel, which he has managed since his early days on Storage Wars. Do you think she deserves what came to her after what she put Jared through? And what do you think of her story's conclusion? Share your thoughts with us in the comments section. Remember to like, share, and subscribe for more. Also, click the next video showing on your screen. You will enjoy it.